Hello, my name is Rosie. This is Rose Tinted Diamonds here for a 2024 Christmas premiere. Today we're going to do like a whip and chat style tag question type of thing. I'm going to be doing winter, Christmas, and like New Year's type tag questions. For starters, I'm going to say this is a $10 kit from Walmart. It's called Let's Celebrate. I picked it up because of two reasons. One, my mom asked me to because she loves gnomes and knew that this wasn't going to take me very long. So, and there's 3 little gnomes on here. She just likes having some of the art and stuff that I create do up on her walls. And 2, because I looked at my stash and I made the realization that I am not drawn to winter scenes very often or like Christmassy scenes. It's just not what I generally go for. So here we are. So with that, this is a Diamond Dots. They don't have like a artist or anything, but I believe all of their stuff is, in fact, like copyrighted, and it's all over the table. So I have opened this just to take a quick peek at it and show my mom. With this, it is a very small little piece, so hopefully it won't take us like too long to finish it up, but we'll look at the canvas real fast because that's the exciting bit. And we're gonna roll it backwards. This is not double-sided adhesive, so this is not going to hurt this at all. This is a pretty stiff canvas with like a linty back on it, so like it's not like super posh or anything, just nice cute little budget kit, but still within our standards. With it comes, this doesn't have like a sticker sheet or anything, it has like instructions and stuff though in like 3 different languages. This is gonna be kind of difficult to like keep down, so I'll probably have to set something like heavy on the edges. It's got Let's Celebrate. The design size is 15 inches by 11 inches or 38 centimeters by 28 centimeters. And that's just the design, like from here to here and then there to there. And each side has a schematic of symbols and Diamond Dots numbers. They don't use the DMC code system. So they have their own system that coincides with the DMC system, and I don't keep any of their drills anyways, so it's not a huge deal. Hopefully I don't run out of any drills because I don't have any extra. So that would be kind of a travesty. So, with that being said, this comes with a teeny tiny boat, along with some moldy placers, a straight edge, and a pen, and squishy, and some wax. Make sure you peel back the film on the wax before you use it. Trust me, I've tried. And yeah, it doesn't work because you're just poking into plastic. So with that, here's kind of the color spread, but we're just going to go right into it, and I'm going to essentially cut open a bag, put it in a Brain says, what is this? This is a tray. Thank you. Okay. Put the stuff into a tray, and then we're just going to go for it. I'm going to take the plastic off, and I'm going to finish this hopefully today, if not on camera it's not, like the stuff is not exactly like in a row. Let me fix the camera just a little bit so that we're more centralized on the actual stuff. Okay, so when I open this up, and we'll put our weights on there. And then I've got like all these little like DAC old school like boats that I use like all the time. So with that, we can go ahead and start our questions. So first off, let me kind of sort of introduce myself. My name is Rosie. I have one child and I'm married to a wonderful husband. We have an incredibly spicy household. Both my husband and my son are neurospicy, as we like to call it. So lots of shenanigans ensue because of said neurospiciness. I think I may not be neurotypical, but I'm unsure. I have not been tested. I've not any of those things, so I continue on, just continuing on. Let's see, let's pick our first color real fast. We'll do 8001, which is that big giganto black dot that we were looking at. Let me make sure. Yep, we're good. You can see. So giganto black dot. I'm gonna stick these guys in one of these little boats, and then we're gonna just have at it. Today I'm using super sticky patty wax, which am a little sloth with a rainbow. We use him as a thing. My pen is from Butterfly Effect Wares. I think this matches a little bit better than my rainbow pen. So we're just gonna go with that. And if I want more than one color, I have 4 of these guys out here. So you can do like up to 4 colors at any given time. So I just have to remember exactly what they are. So I'll keep the wrapper so I can like set them out and do what I need to there. So yeah, we have 2 cats, a black cat named Lotus and a brown tabby cat named Calcifer. Calcifer is very old in comparison to Lotus. Lotus is, okay, I gotta grab some sticky patty wax, but Lotus is not quite a year yet, while Calcifer is about 10 years old, I believe. He's an old man. He's getting up there. So our first Christmas with Lotus. So we're enjoying, oh gosh, that has, the one thing about their stuff is that they get like these skirts on them. But yeah, so our first Christmas with the Lotus, he immediately decided to try and jump on top of the tree. Tried to eat the light bulbs. I heard them crack in his teeth. I have never seen a cat just like put a light bulb in its mouth and attempt to chomp down like immediately. He learned very fast that Mom was very displeased with that specific turn of events. And he got far too excited. That cat is so funny. So yeah, my first tag question, we're gonna go into like the winter / Christmas tag questions. What is your favorite thing about winter? Okay, I don't like winter. I personally am kind of a Scrooge about winter. I do not like the cold. I don't really like the wet. I do, however, enjoy sweater weather. I love sweaters, or sweatshirts, or zip-up hoodies, Those are my comfort clothes. So that is like, I will be single placing all of this because this is not, none of this is in a row except for just like a few. They're not in a row. Maybe this will take a little bit longer than I thought it would, but we're gonna do our best. So I would say my favorite thing about winter is just how good hot things taste, how good cold things taste, because your ice cream is not gonna melt. We are proprietors of, maybe not proprietors, but like we highly, my whole family is like, we love ice cream. My kid is like a chocolate hound. He can smell it from a mile away. If I've got chocolate, like, he knows. So that's the positives I would say about winter in general. I love the smells of like winter, like frosted cranberry and like hot cocoa and like peppermint. Peppermint is one of my favorites. I love all those things. Pomegranates become like a thing in like the fall/winter, which is super awesome. That's a tradition type thing that I got from my grandmother. And you're gonna hear probably that a lot of my traditions and such came from my grandmother because she was just such a prominent person in my life, like growing up and stuff. So yeah, I am borking this this multi-placing is not going well. I am absolutely putting my hand in the glue. That's fine. We're fine. We're gonna do great. It's gonna be great. But yeah, so I would say those. No. You're watching in real time, like everything just come crashing down. It's fine. We're fine. But yeah, I would say those are like my like positive bits of Christmas or of like winter and stuff. Like, oh, the things that I look forward to. Like that's definitely, those are some of the ones that I definitely look forward to. It's also kind of a rainy season, so until the snow starts falling, it is, yeah, I'm doing great. I'm gonna just laugh at Rosie the whole time, it's fine. But it's yeah. Those are some positive things. I love cozy clothing. I love cozy, you know, like the rain and stuff. Snow, not so much, but the rain is definitely like a positive for me. I have never had so many malfunctions as I have when I am filming, I promise. Like, it's not all malfunctions. I have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of single placing though, because like multi-placing on this is definitely not what I would consider it easy at this point. And I'm kind of rethinking the way that I'm doing things, but that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna move forward on this. We got this. So question number 2 is my favorite Christmas movie, and this is kind of funny. My husband does not like Harry Potter. It has been like a long-standing tradition to watch like Harry Potter on like Christmas Eve, on Christmas, you know, like it's something that we've done for a long time. Again, my grandmother was huge into Harry Potter. I remember like my youngest brother, because I have 3 brothers. My oldest brother was 6 years older than me. My middle older brother was 3.5 years older than me, I think. And my youngest brother is 7 years younger. So a lot of my Christmas memories as far as like being a child were with my younger brother, and I remember like sleeping out in the front room because we would fall asleep to Harry Potter, like just playing in the background. So we take all of our blankets and like put them out in the front room, and we would like sleep there waiting for, and I was old enough to know like what's up, but it was kind of a, you know, to like help him, you know, have a good time during Christmas and kind of like create traditions and stuff at that point. So yeah, Harry Potter would be my like my answer. I remember watching like the Polar Express as a kid. That was another one of my grandma's favorites. I just like, I ended up at my grandma's house a lot, like throughout history. So there was a lot of that. Number 3 is scarves or beanies. If I had to choose between a scarf and a beanie, I would choose a scarf. I have both. I'd have to have the beanies that have like, I usually use the brand CC, like the letters CC. And that's because they do like the hair holes in like the top of the beanie. And because I always have my hair in like a ponytail. And I have a hard time with like itchy texture of like beanies. I feel like they make me sweaty and itchy and just, it's, you know, I'd rather have a hoodie, I guess, at that point. But as far as scarves go, I've got a Charizard scarf that I wear as soon as it starts getting cold, basically. I don't know why that fell off. Stay. But yeah. Oh, Jacob Barrios, it looks like, is the, I want to say author, the artist, is what that looks like. And then there looks to be another name here that's like signed. There's a sticky bit there when there shouldn't be. But yeah, so that, I wonder if that is the image creator, the image creator, the artist. I don't know why it's so hard for me to like say the word artist. That must be the artist. Okay. Next question, where do you usually spend Christmas? So as a kid, we would spend Christmas, you know, at our house the day of, and then Christmas Eve would always be going to my nanny and grandpa's house, because that's what we called her. And, you know, we would open up their presents on Christmas Eve, and then we would get like essentially a set of pajamas, right? So we would get a set of pajamas on Christmas Eve, again, to like lay out in the front room in a nice set of pajamas and, you know, sleep out in the front room and watch movies. You wouldn't get anything crazy on Christmas Eve, you know, it would just be the cute, like, the cute little stuff that your grandparents would get you, and then, you know, a pair of pajamas. Then Christmas Day would be spent opening gifts that morning at home, and then you'd spend the rest of the day just like hanging out. The poor adults would be trying to be awake because the kids always woke them up far too early. My child does the same thing, which is like, okay, it's 7 a.m. Like we're 6 a.m., 5 a.m. And it's Christmas, so we're excited. There have been a few times, I think as a kid, where the parents sent us back to bed because it was too early. And I was like, absolutely not. Like, you gotta give us till like 6. And we were like, aw. So, now as an adult, again, I think we end up spending Christmas Eve over at my mom's house, opening presents. My older brother takes Christmas earlier in the day, Christmas, to open their presents. It's just, otherwise it's too many people, and with our kids all having like, because he has a child with like sensory issues and stuff too, so having multiple potentially spicy children in the same house trying to open gifts can be a little bit chaotic. So we've kind of broken it up. My niece of my middle brother usually comes over at Christmas Eve to come and hang out with us. And then, you know, because it's just 2 children, she's incredibly, like, protective of him, and it's amazing. She's a cutie. So those 2 get along really well as far as, like, presents and stuff goes. And the other boys, they will just sit and fight. Because that's, you know, that's the way that kids go. So then we have Christmas dinner as a family. Everyone who wants to be there basically on Christmas. And then from there, yeah. And then we go home. That's it. Favorite Christmas song. So I have fond memories of Feliz Navidad because that was, again, my grandmother's favorite. So we were silly when we got together, my grandma and I. And so we would blast Feliz Navidad and sing horrible, like, yell singing. And it was great. It was amazing. So those are some of the memories of, like, haha. We were just goofy and did silly things. I've got some more of those memories coming up. When do you do presents? Again, we do presents with my mother on Christmas Eve. I try to do the similar thing of, like, here's, you know, a new pair of pajamas for Christmas Eve. But my child doesn't even like pajamas. Like, he is, he's an oddball. And so he doesn't even like pajamas. So he's just like, nah, thanks though. So that doesn't even work half the time. But he gets his main presents from us and, like, my husband's family if we're not over at my husband's family. Because we take turns each year. With Thanksgiving and Christmas of my husband's family and my family, so that it's fair and we're, you know, doing the right thing and everybody gets their time and stuff. So whoever isn't being seen on Christmas Eve gets their presents opened on Christmas Day. So that's kind of how that goes. Real or fake Christmas tree. So my mother does a real Christmas tree, but I think she's turning to the dark side next year. I'm probably doing a fake Christmas tree because it's a lot of work. I don't have the patience or anything to do a real Christmas tree. Plus they're expensive, and, like, we've had our Christmas tree for probably going on darn near, like, 8 to 10 years, I think. Because we got it before I had my kiddo. And yeah, so it was like 8 to 10 years. So yeah, I definitely, like, I love the idea of a real Christmas tree. And, like, there's some things out there that you can, like, that I've heard of that you can do, like, a real Christmas tree that you get every single year. And you essentially get it shipped to you and then you ship it back. And I think those would be really cool to do because I would hate to just, like, use a Christmas, like, I hate the idea of using a Christmas tree and then having it just not, you know, like, you just throw it out afterwards. Like, I don't really care for that idea. I feel like that's a little bit wasteful, in my opinion. It's not like, I don't think, you know, you shouldn't do it. Just, it doesn't feel good for me to do it, so it feels that's a hard thing to do. And then, yeah, so we've had our Christmas tree for a long time. It's probably about time to get another one. And the prices have gone up, but I think it's still worth it to do, like, a fake Christmas tree over a real Christmas tree as far as, like, money goes. Favorite holiday treats. So depending on like if you're talking about like making holiday treats or if you're talking about like buying holiday treats. If you're talking buying holiday treats every single year, and I haven't even gotten them this year, and I'm getting a little cranky about it, is I get those like soft peppermint sticks, and I'm like, I tried to eat a candy cane yesterday, and it's not the same because you get like the candy canes are crunchy to where the other one is like crunchy on the outside but like melty on the inside. They're just like thick peppermint sticks that are filled like, I don't know how to explain it, but those are like my go-to. I have to have a box of those every year. As far as making treats, some of my favorites are, I make treats for other people, right? So, I always love peanut butter fudge. Part of the reason I love peanut butter fudge is because my brothers every single year requested peanut butter fudge. And so, you know, my grandma and I would make that because my grandma and I made all of the like holiday treats. That was like, they didn't have a whole lot of money. So that was a large majority of the like gift giving and like love that they shared with the family. So I would help her because she was like diabetic with like COPD. She was on oxygen. Like she's kind of like house ridden kind of thing, bedridden type of thing. She could sit for short periods of time. Like she just wasn't in terribly good health like for most of my childhood. But we still had an amazing time making cookies, and it just, so it kind of reminds me of one of the moments we used to make this thing called divinity, right? And divinity was you basically took sugar and you boiled it to what is called the hardball stage, where you take a small bit of it, you could put it in some water, and you can create a like ball with it. So you'd have to get it to the hardball stage, then you have to pour it into a bowl and use a mixer. She had a hand mixer. She never had like an expensive mixer or anything. And you would have to whip this thing with some like other ingredients until it was like almost like a meringue, right? Oh yeah. It was, you had to whip it with egg whites, which is why I'm like, it's like a meringue because it's whipped egg whites. I need to whip the egg whites until they were like glossy, and like we destroyed one of her beaters one year, and by the end of it, it was smoking, and we were laughing so hard that she quite literally fell out of her chair, and I cannot for the life of me, like that is like peak Christmas, you know, type winter memory, because like that was the funniest thing ever. And like we were constantly laughing. Like she definitely is like a huge part of like why like Christmas is important. You know, my mother is too. But like my grandma was such a huge influence on like the things that we did and like how things kind of went and stuff like that. Because my mom, you know, worked and all of that. And so we spent a good amount of time at my nanny's house. And it just, the times that we spent just like laughing our butts off was just so good. And yeah, like that's like a memory that just like stuck hard. Because it was absolutely ridiculous. I think I'm done with this color. Woo! So I'm going to grab out, I have like an entire bag of like baggies, especially from Diamond Art Club, because they stick baggies and all of their stuff. So I keep them so that I can keep like extra drills and different things like that. So I am going to put those in there. Along with, just in case, because who knows, I could have missed one and you're probably hollering at me telling me that I'm silly and missed something, but I don't see anything. So we're just gonna move on. And I'll take this, and generally I'll just cut the number and letter out of it, throw this part away, and then put this in the bag just so that I know exactly what color it is still, and then I can throw everything out afterwards. I don't throw out all of my drills, just I don't normally do a whole lot of diamond dots, and their stuff is not, I wouldn't say consistent enough, so I don't usually keep that. A02 is number 2. So we are now on the number 2, which is like a dark gray color. So that's where we're at. Let me check the time. Oh, we're like halfway through. Oh my goodness. Woo! Gotta get going. So, sorry, I get like sidetracked easily. Oh, favorite sweaters. So I can show you, actually, let me pause real fast and show you my my new Christmas sweaters for this year. So hold on one second. Okay, so as far as Christmas sweaters go, right? So the one that I'm not considering my like ugly, and they're not ugly, obviously, but the like Christmas sweater is this guy that I got from like Hot Topic, and it has a giant Totoro. My neighbor Totoro has some snags and stuff because my life is too much chaos to not have snags. But it's incredibly comfortable, not like super warm, but just warm enough that, you know, I can go outside and do stuff if I need to. And then what I would consider my Christmas sweater for this year, right? If you've been around my channel at all, if you haven't, hello, my name is Rosie and I'm a nerd. Can't help it. But I bought this year to kind of go with like my Charizard like scarf and stuff. This let's see if I can get it. Okay. So it's got like a turtleneck and it's Zorua. I'm trying not to like lay it on the glue. But yeah, that's my Christmas sweater, my like ugly sweater thing. So, and then on the back it has like frostlass. If I can get it to show. Yeah, there's like frostlass on the back. So, that's my ugly Pokemon Christmas sweater that isn't ugly. You're welcome. Let me fix the camera now real quick. See if I can get it to do what I need it to do. Wrong way. Yep. Okay. Okay. There we go. Hopefully it doesn't like bounce too much now. But yeah. So that is my favorite Christmas sweater for this year. Do you have any special recipes? So while I was out getting the sweaters, I also, oh my gosh, it's so tattered. Also was gonna say this here is my grandma's favorite cookbook. This is Betty Crocker's new picture cookbook. This is old. I don't even know how old, but this is like the cookbook that my grandma used. Like she's got, these are all her like things that she would make and stuff. I pull out stuff every once in a while. Let's see if I've got, those are breads. Where are my cookies? Where are my cookies at? There they are. Oh God. So let's see. The ones that are my favorite, they're there. And they're my family's favorite. They are called Russian tea cakes. And it's this guy up here in the top right hand corner. And it's soft butter, sifted confectioner's sugar, which I never sift anything because I'm bad. Vanilla, flour, salt, and other people put nuts in it. I don't put nuts in it. But basically you make this like dough and you bake it. And then you roll it in powdered sugar. Or you can do like cinnamon sugar. But the powdered sugar, just like the whole thing just melts in your mouth. And I love it. I make like peanut butter cookies from here and stuff. You know, like the old school, I almost said old school and old style. Where like my grandma always used for peanut butter cookies, I believe it was lard or like something. I don't use lard anymore because I'm trying to be healthy and trying to keep my family healthy and such. But I still pull some of the old recipes and such, like from that book specifically. Favorite winter memory. So one of the things, okay, pen. But one of the things that we used to do as a kid in the winter specifically, okay, we're just gonna drop everything everywhere. But in the winter specifically is, I lived in a small town where, I should probably put this back, but where, it was a very small town. We had this soccer complex, and the soccer complex had, I'm not going to be able to pick these out nearly as well as some of the other ones, but the soccer complex had like these really tall hills on top of, like on the sides of it. So it was almost like a bowl shape. It was weird. But those hills were the best hills for sledding. So we used to take our sleds down it. And of course there was rocks. I lived in an area that had an enormous amount of rocks. Like that's what we're known for, is like everything is rocks. The ground is just rocks. It's all made of rocks. So it wasn't exactly like the safest thing to do, but like as kids, obviously you're not thinking about that. And in like the 90s, it wasn't the safety. What's that? Like, that's how I feel like my childhood was back then. It was just like, safety? What is that? What does that mean? I remember riding in the back of pickup trucks, you know, in the ice and snow through town, and, you know, like in the bed, and like just silly stuff that nowadays we're like, okay, that's probably not the safest thing to do. But in a small town especially, like a lot of times rules get ignored sometimes, you know. So at least in that specific way. So yeah, that's probably my favorite winter memory. I know one year we had this like really horrible ice storm that like we ended up getting snowed in at my dad's house because my mom and dad had separated at that point, and like just having to leave the house to go to a different house to stay when it was that like snowy, and I think I was like 5. So like the snow mounds were bigger than I was. And I just remember being terrified, which is not my favorite memory, but it's definitely a memory that I have. Next is favorite Christmas memory. So there was one year, I believe I got her for Christmas. I got a horse for Christmas. And at the time, we had one horse already, and it wasn't my horse specifically. And there was this horse down the road at this farmer's house, and the farmer didn't treat it terribly well. I remember seeing like people have like drunken parties and stuff at their house and like try and ride the horse drunk, and like so I could tell it wasn't being like treated very well. And not thinking that I was going to actually receive the horse for Christmas, her name was Serenity. That is what I named her. I actually and ended up, I was asked to come outside, and my stepdad walked down our gravel like road / driveway with this horse in hand. And I just remember like absolutely losing it. And as much as she was an absolute pain in the butt, she would cow kick, and she, like, you know, she was my first real like project horse. And I ended up giving her to someone who was a little bit more trained than I was, because at the time I just wasn't truly equipped to handle her. But I think she ended up costing us like $300 or something, because again, this was an untrained horse that, you know, they didn't use. It just sat there, and it kind of, they didn't really care about it very much. This was the same guy that would drive really fast down our like streets and attempt to hit our dogs and stuff. So not a very nice man. So I got her out of the bad situation, and that was probably my favorite Christmas present I think I've ever received, which was just receiving this horse that I needed her to be in a different situation. Even if I needed to, you know, hand her off to somebody else at some point, she was at least taken care of at that point. And she ended up becoming a really, really nice horse for somebody. I knew the person who got her, and she gave me updates and stuff on her, and she did really good. So it ended up being a really good situation for everyone, honestly. Like, I have no real negative emotions on that one. Christmas traditions. Usually we go out and see Santa Claus with my kiddo. We didn't have a chance to see her. This year's been absolute chaos. We're still thinking about ways of maybe doing that, you know, still doing that. But I don't know if that'll happen. We do love cooking, baking type of thing. I will continue my grandma's traditions as far as like baking cookies and treats and different things for people, and I feel like those things mean a lot more, because it's a lot of time and effort and stuff spent, than just buying someone something or regifting someone something. So to me, I do my best to make sure that I have the energy and spoons to be able to do that. And we're dangerously close to not having those spoons, but cookies are always on the docket. Putting up lights and putting up our tree is always an every year type of thing. Yeah. Now I'm kind of regretting the way that I'm doing this. If I'm being completely honest. Also, that was my stomach. Holy cow. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the gnomes. Like, I'm going to start with her and kind of go through and do that. Now that I have the baggies out and stuff too, I think it'll be easier to do it that way, because initially I thought this was going to be the best way, but I don't know about that anymore. But that's fine. I can change my mind. Okay, so moving on our list of things, because I think I've talked about enough Christmas traditions to save a lifetime. Let's move on to New Year's. So, stay in or go out. I am an introvert. I am an introvert in all things. While I do enjoy going out every once in a while, I am forever and always an introvert. Ooh, let's do our big gems. I'm skipping around. Ah, they're there. So these go in these big spots, like the 0 ones. But yeah, so I forever will be an introvert. I do enjoy going out and like doing other stuff, but like if I have a choice of like going to like a party or not, no, I'm probably not gonna go. That's just me. Oh my goodness, these are so big. Am I gonna, how do I? They do stick. Ah! Oh my goodness. Those are so cute. They don't stick well, but they do stick. Hold on. Let me see if I can like move this down this like small bit and then like push it in so that there's just a little bit sticking out. And I think that, maybe not. I think these are just bulky. I guess tweezers will probably work for that a little bit better. These are kind of funky tweezers. I don't have my tweezers on hand though that I normally use. They're round too, which makes it like extra awkward. But yeah, so as far as like New Year's, like we don't really drink much. Like if I do drink, it's just like at home, like hanging out. And I'll just have like cranberry juice or something. And then we'll just play video games a lot of times. Firework or sparklers. My entire family has sensory issues. I've always hated fireworks as far as like the noise and stuff goes. So I would say sparklers. But I do love the way that the fireworks work, like look. I think that they're beautiful and neat. And so if I can find a way to watch them from a far enough away that I don't have to hear like super loud sounds, like I would do it. Absolutely, I would do it. Dinner or dancing? I love me some dancing. If we were going dancing, we were going dancing. I love dancing. We don't go often, so which is why I guess it's like such a treat. But I do love going dancing. It just feels kind of funny, like going out with just my husband to go dancing, I guess. Like I would rather have like, which is opposite of my not wanting to be around people. But if I'm going to be around people, I guess I feel like I should be around like more than just one person, I guess. I don't know. So that's my thoughts on that. Resolutions. Do I enjoy resolutions? I do. And I don't think I set myself up for failure too badly, because like my working out. Like I think it was a New Year's resolution to continue going to the gym. And I have done that. Have I been like perfectly consistent? Absolutely not. Like especially weeks like this where I'm like, there is so much chaos happening right now. The stress gets me and then bad. Yeah. But for the most part, I think as long as you're realistic with your goals, if you're like, oh, I'm going to lose like 100 pounds, maybe it's not attainable. But if you're like, oh, like I would like to, you know, go to the gym 2 to 3 times a week, I do think that that is attainable. I don't think you should beat yourself up over not being able to, like make those goals happen exactly. But I do think that having goals in general, and it doesn't have to be at the beginning of the year, you know, if you decide on a goal halfway through the year and you want to spend 3 or 6 or 9 or 1 month, you know, like attempting to make that goal happen, I think that that's a good thing. I think that it can be like a really positive like influence in your life. Single best thing that happened this year. I have 2. So the first one was actually going to the Oregon coast. It was really fun. My child single-handedly loves all things ocean slash like beach, ocean animals, you know, that type of thing. And so we rented a house down there, which was more comfortable than staying in like a hotel room. And we stayed on the beach and it was wonderful. And we got to go down and sift through the sand and pick up seashells and let him dig in the sand, you know, and have delicious foods, you know, that we wouldn't normally get, like, you know, crab and, you know, certain fish and stuff, because we don't live on the coast. So it was really nice. It was very, very nice to just, as a family, go. I would love to take my mother this year at least once, and probably go more than once. And then we also had our cruise that we had this year, that we went on a Disney cruise, and it was just nice. It was nice to get away, nice to, you know, shut my phone off, not have to worry about people calling, you know, texting, anything like that. Just kind of live in the moment. We went with a set of friends that we've been friends with for several years. I think we've been friends for like 4 or 5 years. And, you know, we just had fun. We had a great time, except for getting sick. But it was such a cool experience being out of the country. It was Bub's first time out of the country. And it was good. It was nice. I would not have traded those moments for anything. And there are always challenges with kiddos in general. And if you know, you know, with non-neurotypical kiddos, you know. But we made everything work. They were very kind and caring about, you know, some of his disabilities and like some of his special needs, you know, with like headphones and different things like that. And like everything was good. Everyone was very accepting and very nice, and it ended up being amazing. And to see the light, you know, the shine in his eyes and him get excited about things is such a joy. So yeah, for sure, like that was a moment that I knew was going to be special this year, and it didn't occur to me how special, you know, that was going to end up being. And so yeah, that's definitely it. Single most challenging thing that has happened this year. I do not think that there is a single thing that happened. Like, there was no like large upset that happened this year. There's a lot of little ones. A lot of little things that just kind of end up weighing down on you. But we are able to, you know, my husband and I were actually talking today about the fact that, you know, he and I are steadfast. Like, we have been together we've been married for 11 years as of December 28th, because that is our anniversary. And we've been together for like 13 years, 14 years, something like that. I think it'll be 14 in April. Yeah, so 13 years. And like, we are able to conversate through things and like support each other through some of these tough times. And there's so many moments where I'm just like, if it wasn't for him and the way that he handles things, and if it wasn't for, you know, the way that I handle things and like support him, we would not have gotten as far as we have gotten. So there's my single negative thing that honestly I just try and think of as like a positive that we're strong enough to be able to get through some of these things that, you know, previously maybe we wouldn't have been able to. How would you describe your year? Let me look at the time real quick. 23 minutes. So we're getting close, I think. But how would you describe your year? Pure chaos. It started out as chaos, it ended as chaos. Like, yeah, just especially with people this year, family members and different things, like, we've had a lot of chaos. So just pure chaos, I think, is my answer. How would you describe, how would you describe your year? Best books read this year. So I think it was this year that I started the Sarah J. Maas books, off of a recommendation from someone. And those have been a pretty impactful set of books. They were really good. I read a lot of fantasy and romance, and like I read a lot of webtoons and stuff. Like I'm that girl. I'm that nerd. But definitely the Sarah J. Maas books were a pretty impactful set of books for me. Best games I played this year. So we played P5 Royal, which I love the Persona games. So this is Persona 5 Royal, which is their like DLC edition. Again, sorry anyone who's not a gamer. For sure, I think that was like a really good one that we played. And then Final Fantasy, of course, is like always good. Anything else that we played? Because we spent a lot of time playing video games together, like with friends. Those friends that I was talking about that we've been friends for like 4+ years. We basically get together every single night. Oh, we've been going through like BG3. BG3 has been a pretty fun one to go through. So yeah. There's that. And then diamond painting goals for the year. So have I reached my diamond painting goals for the year? And the answer is, if I finish this one before the end of the year, this will be the number goal, right? So have I smashed it out of the park? No. My goal was 20 for the year. I am at 19 as of this very moment. So, you know, and I'm gonna give myself grace again. Like, I battled some issues with my shoulders, like my back/shoulders. Having this hobby has made that worse because there's a lot of bending over in this hobby. And while I have a really nice, like, large desk and like a nice space and stuff, I have a tendency to like bend over and like put my shoulders at like a specific angle that apparently it does not make it very happy, which is fine. You know, I'm working through it. I'm going to the gym. That's part of my gym reasoning and everything else. So that's totally fine. So yeah. As far as diamond painting goals, I think I'll get there. I think I'll get there. Which is exciting because showing off like 20 finishes for the year will be kind of fun although not all of them are on hand. So there's that. Okay. So, I think this is the end of this. I definitely did not get nearly as far in this painting as I thought I would be able to, but it's really hard for me to multitask. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful holidays and a happy new year. Bye.